Okay, so here I'm back at Remote-Backroad-Jungles. Thank you everybody for joining me today. And so my video shut off before. I was doing basically a bunch of different things to be careful, especially if you're a woman alone walking outside when it's cold, how hot, it doesn't matter what time. So I did about 9 things, but I'm going to do 3 things extra that are important too. And there's probably many more things you can do to stay safe, but I'm going to specifically tell you about these things because I did not mention them in my other video. And I left you off with always walk against traffic, which should be common sense, but I had mentioned before that it's not just for the cars so they don't run over you. It's also so that you don't have the traffic at your back, so you can see someone approaching you. So be careful. But I'm going to start with the 3 that I mentioned. Be alert, know your surroundings, always use the buddy system, always text your location, have someone know where you are, your flight plan, etc. Let people know where you are. Now some people can say, oh, well, there's bad guys and so one of them could be my friend and they could be waiting. Well, that sounds good for a movie. It does happen, but chances are, hopefully your people that you hang around with and your family are not evil people, and if you give them your flight plan, they're doing it out of concern for you. So they would be watching out for you. The next one, number 2, scan your surroundings as you walk. You can talk to the police about this. You can talk to anyone. So you're watching your area, but you're always watching ahead. So you're prepared if you see somebody driving up, walking up. It could be an animal as well. It's not always the man. Sometimes it's a bear, right, guys? Okay, so it could be a wild animal, the 2-legged kind or the 4-legged kind. It could be anything, okay? So you should be careful. You should also be careful of bad weather, obviously. It doesn't hurt to carry pepper spray. Pepper spray technically could be used on an animal as well as a man or woman. Okay, you have to be careful for men and women. Women can be criminals too. There was a lot of women criminals and they work sometimes with men. They can gain your trust. Don't trust child, man, woman, or child. Man, woman, or child. And 3, always wear a watch. Now, it sounds kind of funny, but because we rely so much on digital, we don't always know the time. And if your phone gets taken away or it's lost, at least you can use your watch to know what time it is. And that's very crucial for, especially if you're trying to make it to someplace at a certain time, right? And then you lose your phone. Well, that's just everyday stuff. You're like, oh, okay, I'm trying to make it to a thing. I lost my phone. Great. Now I'm going to look for it. Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. The watch can be crucial. You could be locked in somebody's trunk. You could be anywhere. But at least you know the time. And you know how some kidnapping victims, when they're in the trunk, they actually remember how many bumps were on the road. You're not going to maybe remember very specifics, but they remember the feel of the road. Everything. Use all your senses. Pay attention before it gets to that point. You don't want to be the victim. Pay attention. And so when you have your watch, you can have something that tells the time, that how long have I been trapped in here? How long have I been running? That's very critical. How long? And also when you relay the information back to the police, you can tell them, oh, it was 2 minutes ago. And the police can say, okay, 2 minutes ago, a Dodge, Ram, whatever. 2 minutes ago, we saw how many red pickup trucks there are in this area. You can pinpoint things, and that's very, very, very critical. So always remember that. And always remember, especially for women, that when you're jogging and you use up all your energy, you're doing exercise, you don't want to use it all up if you're jogging on the side of the road, which isn't the smartest thing to do for women. Obviously, it's not the best thing. And also, you want to watch out for the way you dress, because you can say all you want about men this and men that, they shouldn't be looking, but it's disrespectful, first of all, to dress a certain way in public, which we all know. Women don't like to admit this, but it's also a fact. It's just plain disrespectful to other people's husbands, to other people's boyfriends, but just in general, because you don't down dress that much. And obviously people know what I'm talking about right now when I'm speaking about how far people down dress and how little they wear. But also, you don't want to be a target. Yes, men these days, anybody can, even women, okay, they can target you. But the point is, you don't want to be more of a target. Women are attractive to men for a certain reason, obviously, so you don't want to put yourself in that position where you're saying, go ahead, get me, I'm a victim. You don't want to do that. So be very careful. Some people don't like to hear that, but as a woman, I'm saying it because it's the truth. So please join me next time for many more of my videos at Remote-Backroad-Jungles with a dash in between each word, and my link is www.youtube.com/@hiddenaoasis-secret-pathfinder. And I just wanted to tell you a few ways that you could be safe when you're on the road, when you're walking alone, or when you're driving alone as well. I'll do another video maybe sometime when you're driving alone, but you don't want to end up here in a place like this in some bushes, in some mountains, someplace all alone someday, dead. Or worse, maybe, I don't know what's worse, being alive and captured someplace. This is how trafficking happens, and kidnapping victims that don't die right away and after hours of torture. You don't want to end up one of those people, so be careful. And listen out and watch out for your surroundings. Use the buddy system if you can, and always file a flight plan. And join me next time. Until next time.